Regarding the show, today we're asking you about the KPL Golden Boot Chase. Will Benson Omala of Gor bag that title or Tito of Kelo of Kenya Police? So keep your the conversation going. SMS lines 22422, hashtag Sporty Monday. At Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac's Will, of course, we'll be sampling some of them shortly and at the tail end of the program. Now, back home, the Kenyan Premier League action continues to intensify with 20-time champions Gor Mahia showing no signs of slowing down after hitting Shabana 1-0 in a Kenyan Premier League match at the Jomo Kenyatta International Sports Stadium in Kisumu. Benson Omala with that goal. Kenda, I'll come straight to you regarding that. KPL, too easy for Gor, but now how do you replicate that at the continental level?
You know, there was a time Tom Bwana, my good friend, told me that this is the weakest Gor Mahia side that's going to win the Premier League. And I tried to argue with him and he said, no, remember, there was Karim Nizigimana, there was Zawalusimbi, there were Medi Kageres, there were Khalid Aujuz. And now I'm looking at people getting excited about Omala having 15 goals so far in the weakest Kenya Premier League I've ever witnessed the recent years. So I think we really need to up our games if Gor Mahia to be very competitive in continental football, because I don't think if the Kenya Premier League has set standards that will make Gor Mahia be a competitive side when it comes to continental football. Do they need to strengthen? I think they need to get some experienced players who have played in continental football, both local and international, for them to be stronger as compared to their opponents who are going to face in the Champions League. So according to me, I see no excitement in the Kenya Premier League. Sorry to say that, apart from the crowd turnouts, FC Leopards, Gor Mahia, Shabana, Apple too. But in terms of quality, I see more quality in the upcoming teams. The under-18, under-20, that's where I see more entertainment, I see more quality. Sorry to say that, but I think it's the weakest Gor Mahia side going to win the title.
Is here really quick, going continental, I think it's almost, if you talk of probability, chances, basically it's done. They just need one win. But now, they've never made impression in Africa. They just make up the numbers. They are more, I'll call flaggers, continentally.
And already there's something that even puts more worry on it, because we have news that McKinstry, Jonathan, the coach Gor Mahia, has written to Gor Mahia asking them that I need to know my future with you. Are you extending my contract? And the latest is that the chairman did not give a very direct answer. And he said that they are going to be discussing whether they are going to extend the contract. Now, what it means is that the coach who has been...
The same is here.
Yes.
Actually, the talk is he's sealed a deal with the Gambian national football team.
There's a rumor that way. Of course, we are relying on the information that the chairman will be giving. On Saturday, on Kogalo Wikihi by Milton Ochieng, he reported well that he could be going. Now, that means the coach who has been the side for 2 years is going, and we are going to the Continentals. So you bring a new coach. Before he learns who is playing where and everything in the house, we're already in the Continentals. It's not the best thing for Gor Mahia as at now. And therefore, it adds to the worry of really the participation and the competition in the CAF Champions League. But also, Shabana were playing that match hoping to get a point, at least to escape the relegation. Not the best outcome they expected. Now, I think we are getting to the direction where what we have seen in the EPL, Shabana may start now depending on House of Apaka plays in the last matches to survive. Yeah, Pamzo had shown a very good thread of matches, but now against Gor Mahia, of course, Gor has married every team in the league.
Your point, I want you to tie it up with the Golden Boot race between Omala and Tito.
Before I say about the Golden Boot race, let me just talk about the quality, the way Akianda has said. There's something that always happens in our team. Every end of the season, you find that a team signs almost 20 players, 15 players.
You are Leopards. The biggest...
20 players, 15 players. And something that I talked even with CC some time back, saying that if you sign a new team every season, why do you expect a team to gel in 2 weeks? When you're doing maybe in the break for 2 weeks, you expect a team to gel 2 weeks, and then they play the game. Of course, they will gel maybe in the mid-season. So for me, I think that is something that is happening in teams, and they need to be keen on that. Something that positively happened to Police. Police has stayed with the team for almost now. This is the second year. You see, the team has gelled very well. Now they're giving out results. The last I think
how many points?
They have money.
No.
They have money.
They have money, but the team has gelled very well. They did only one signing for a midfielder who hasn't been paying. That is, he hasn't been paying for a role, and that is giving them results.
They have money. And they can attract the best players. They can keep the best players. That's why there's continuity.
Are you trying to tell me that if
FC Leopards
a team that signs 30 players every month,
no, listen,
because there is signing fee?
We were counting with Michael Kingi. I think by last year, tulikuwa tumefikia 34th squad FC Leopards. I am sure they're going to change again. Because if you have money and you're financially stable and your management is well structured, you will tie your best players to long-term deals. You will keep them, you will pay them their allowances and everything. But if you're an opponent who you're rivaling with in the same league, realize that you're unstable, they will come for your best players. Ask my team, Zoya. We are being ready.
Let me help Zita to make the point she was making. And she wanted to say this, that Gor, even in strengthening the squad next season, they need to be careful with how they sign. Because we don't want to have the situation like the one we had with Patrick Kadu coming from Uganda, and then you're competing for the same number with Benson Omala, a local boy here is doing better than that Kadu. You understand? Come with all the money. The question of signing players based on interest of the officials is what she was addressing. Because that's why you end up signing a lot of players.
Coming to the Golden Boot race, I think Tito will take it home, because Omala, I think there's something that happened on Mala with the move that he was supposed to move. I think mentally he went down kidogo. That is, now he's picking up. But Tito, he has a very good squad who supplies him football. And in a ball, again, Omala has the same squad, but again, the mentality that he has, something that happened last season again, he was, Rupia took over from him the Golden Boot when the season was ending. I think him finishing power for him, it's something that he needs to look at. I think
Zita, don't you think that maybe if he just has the right mental strength, and they've said that he's picking up, he needs to win that Golden Boot so that once again there's interest from other clubs. Yes. Don't you think it's something that will push him so much?
It has to drive him, but last season he did the same,
and it's not
leaving the Golden Boot to go to Rupia.
But rather, they're talking about Omala, and this is a striker who's really drawn comparisons with Dennis Oliech. Most Kianda has been saying that, and it's true. If you look at his positioning, I see more of a goal poacher.
Even
so somebody, but now, since Oliech made that break in 2006, he's 18 years now, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it that the KPL is not producing more Oliech's? Actually, Benson went to Sweden and returned.
Even when you look at his body structure, he resembles Oliech, his runs. But again, I think we want to cook Omala very fast. You remember Ferrat's sentiments that he will come of a good use to us at the right time.
But
so let us.
Right time? What is the right time? He's now 23. For heaven's sake, he should actually be playing his trade in the top.
Let us give him time, because I'll take you back to what he started but did not complete. The quality of our Premier League has really dwindled. You cannot compare the Premier League we are experiencing now and the Premier League of 2006, 7 and 8. The competitiveness. Remember those times when we were sharing FC Leopards squad, when we had Abdallah Juma, Edwin Baraza, Bernard Mangoli, Okwemba,
that's a golden generation.
Mike Baraza. That is when the competition was on, and at that point even FC Leopards could not take the title out of Gor Mahia, and the point difference was not as.
But guys,
so in my view,
let me ask,
guys, don't compare Omala and Oliech, please.
This is
don't disrespect to Omala. The Oliech I know.
No, we need to give
just a minute. 10 seconds. I watched Dennis Oliech in Kakamega High in 2001. Who was his head coach? The rest in peace, Chris Makoha. He used to play for the under-16, under-15. And the exposure he got while at Madara, he used to go to Sweden. Who was his agent?
Norway.
When he came to the national team, who held his hand? Who gave him that opportunity? He had the support. Omala needs that.
He doesn't have that same support.
I think so.
By Renard
For me, I know.
He doesn't.
Let's look at the school. ISF World Cross Country went down at Ngong Race Course. Let's take a look at how it went down. And of course, Kenya swept the deck in major competition, an event that was also graced by His Excellency President William Ruto. Take a look.
Basi wameanza sasa. Wameanza vizuri sana kule Mwanafuwa na kule ndio mwanariadha wa kilo right.
Sasa bwana.
The ISF World Cross Country, basically the schools competition. Of course, Kenya as expected. We swept the deck, under 18, under 15, under 12. Of course, we had the speeches, President Ruto, Governor Sakaja of Nairobi, Education CS Mashogu. They were all saying, you guys, you need the focus, you need the discipline, you need the hard work. And definitely the talents abound. What probably they didn't tell us is the state of facilities and what they are doing to ensure those under 18s get the best support.
You see, Swila, this is cross country. And when it comes to cross country, God has given us already the good spaces that we have, like in Ngong. And it was a good reminder to the world that we don't do this by fluke. When we went to Bathurst and won it for the senior category this year in Poland and all that. But now, two things that come out here is the idea of, number one, the plentifulness of talent that we have in Kenya when it comes to athletics. That in every category we won everything. Save for one category that we had number 3 from Uganda. What does it mean? That we need to make sure that these stars are taken well care of. I was talking to Barnaba Korir the other day, and actually I give it to him that they organized a very good race here yesterday because he has been the main organizer, about how we take care of our talents. We are still bleeding with the demise of Kevin Kiptum. And somebody asked me somewhere that, really, would Kiptum have died if he was born maybe in another world, maybe in America, maybe in the UK? How we take care of our athletes, how we enhance them. Basically, when we see that kind of rich talent, we are just reminded of the big responsibility we have as a country to take care of them. Not only by providing facilities, but taking, of course, we are talking about at the age of, doping menace, how we take care of them, so that those young boys who are under 12, those young girls who are under 15, we are able to see them 15 years later, still shining the way they shone yesterday at the global stage.
Of course, Shitera, real quick on this, the performance of Team Kenya, but we dominated in all the disciplines.
I heard sentiments by President William Ruto and those who are encouraging words that we are really going to invest in sport starting at such a tender age. Now, that shows a government that has put in place policies to nurture talent. And I believe with the finishing up of our refurbished stadia and the newly constructed stadia, I think this will provide facilities for sporting activity, not only athletics, which the government is committed to ensure that we nurture talent beginning at a lower age. As Kianda put it earlier, in football, we are doing it. Our under-17 women team got a draw in Ethiopia. That shows you that really we are investing from ile class ya chini, nikitumia Kiswahili labda kuanzia chekechea tukipata, and a real good foundation will really matter how our future will look like. We are complaining of formalas now because our foundation probably was only able to bring such talent. But if we do it now, our future will be bright.
Kianda,
I'm looking at it from this point of view. I've always said, and I think that we have done that. Sasha Mtai has had me, and maybe at the discussions we've had. Many federations just need to go and do a benchmarking with Athletics Kenya. Whatever we are seeing is a product of the youth development program that they've always had.
We benchmark.
Yes. And then to and to up Riadha House. Wachana mambo election. Tunaangalia vitu zina election is they are performing
to make people win by them.
Yes.
If
so
winning, what are you talking
whatever they're doing at Athletics Kenya is fantastic. They've made Kenya, actually those not the first time, they've won the trust of world athletics to host international events, under 18, under 20, and you're seeing the cross-country, school cross-country, world championships, I'm sure before 2030 itakuwa hapa Kenya, if you put infrastructure in place, because hiyo kwenda Beijing or somewhere is because of infrastructure tu kidogo hapa na pale. So whatever talent you're seeing is a product of what General Jackson Tuwei and the likes of Barnabo could have done at Athletics Kenya. During when schools closed, tunakuwa na hizo camps in Nyeri, Kaptama, in Iten, Ngong, Wapi, all over the country. And that's where we are able to see Kenya dominating athletics in each and every category. We are sure we're going to have more Beatrice Chebets, we're going to have more Peru Jepchirchir, the Obiris are there, Kipchoge, Eliud are there. The Ezekiel Kombo, those who are struggling in Sipoche, but I'm sure a solution is going to be found very soon. So well done, Athletics Kenya, for winning the World Athletics Trust when it comes to hosting global events. So maybe FKF can go there. Rugby are trying with the Super Series, and I'm sure we're going to see some improvement in rugby as we have seen in athletics.
Of course, that's Kianda's sentiment saying